middle of a wicked migraine. So I think today is very likely going to be a mostly going to be a design day. Now you're on screen. What do you want, child? Hey, for the hour that I'm streaming, you can't be out here. You can either be in your room, you can either be in your room or quietly watching TV. Go. Have kids, they said. It would be fun, they said. Okay. Now I gotta be honest, I woke up with a raging migraine today. So I might not be the most personable person around. Morning, Alan. How are we doing today, brother? There's none in the house right now, child. You'll just have to wait. So how you holding up, Alan? Haven't seen you in a minute. So, yeah, I have an absolute rage over migraine today. You couldn't tell the lights are kind of down a little bit lower, and we're going to be doing some design work today. Work, 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 and more work. Yeah, I get that. Tell you this, it never ceases. Took little man to see the Sonic 3 movie last night. It was actually a really good movie. I rather enjoyed it. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, so I'm not doing too well. So, let me do a save as here. Yes. Go on. All right. So today we're going to be designing a fairy village. Now, I have a sketch somewhere that I did, but I think that's disappeared. You're working your way through the first 5 bundles of slab wood. Cutting for firewood. Yeah. Hey, if you find any pretty pieces, make sure to set them aside. You never burn the pretty firewood. Never ever burn the pretty firewood. That's what you make money on. So yeah, I wanted to design a fairy village. Something that can be like, you know, easy to put together, but like glued to the walls and stuff. So you could put like a little porch, and it'll have like stairs going down to another little porch and another little door. Something that's kind of fun. And the reason I'm designing this is, you know, something easy to, you know, to laser cut out, make kits for, and put those kits in stores for people to put together. And I'll have a couple different versions. I'm thinking the basic kit will have, you know, 2 doors, 2 porches, and stairs going down. And then another one will have like, you know, rope ladder or like a little bridge type thing, you know, something fun. And you have a 4-foot piece with a hollow center set aside for epoxy. Ooh. Make sure when you're doing that, you use a deep set epoxy, which I'm sure you're aware of. I think West Systems makes one, which is made for like really deep pours, like 3-4 inches. When you're doing something that big of a mass, it's better to use the deep pour epoxy, even if it's not going to be super deep, only if it's only like 1 inch, just because that much mass can create a lot of heat. Something to keep in mind. So let's go to the design screen and pop up some AutoCAD. Now I'm thinking, just for my own mind, it'll be a lot easier to design things kind of full size and then scale them down. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start 3 foot, 7 foot. And yeah, this is for an electrical job I did. Let's see. That's the first door. And let's do, I should probably put a landing on it right there. Bloop. There's that. Now the weird thing about this is, as you're designing it, you kind of have to think of everything in layers. And I want these things to kind of have a little bit of thickness off the walls. So that if you want to like go back and like add like little LED lights or something, it's not going to be an impossible task. So the next thing we need to do, we're going to put some windows in. And then do one right there. Okay, so got the door, got the 2 windows. Now we need to do the sides. That's going to give it the thickness off the wall. Now originally I was thinking about doing this in doll scale, which is 1/12. So 1 inch equals 1 foot. Which is fine. That's like usually like Barbie dolls and stuff, or doll houses, which would then allow you to go to any craft store or whatever, and they have like dollhouse pre-made stuff. And originally I was thinking about like going that route, and that way it'd be real fast and easy to like kind of zhuzh these up. However, I kind of think so that would be that's a 7 foot door. So when it's in doll scale, that'd be 7 inches. And I think that's too big for a fairy door. I think you want something a little bit smaller. And that way your village, when you put it up on the walls, it'll be a little bit more whimsical, you know? And I intend on making these files, not only for me to cut out and do my own cuts and prints and stuff and make kits, but I'm also gonna make these files available for people to download. They're gonna be on my Patreon. They're also going to be for sale. Obviously, patrons get a discount, and depending on which tier, you'll get it for free. That being said, with the files, you'll be able to scale things however you want. So if you do want a full doll scale, and I think I'll put a write-up in there of how to do that, a full doll scale thing, then you can just scale it up, print it, cut it out, and boom, good to go. It's my thought. Now we need to do the sides, and then from the sides we can do the roof piece, and then that'll be the first layer basically. If that, get all that stuff glued together, put together, and then from there we can start like actually making the door frame, the windows, and then the porch, stairs. And then we'll take that and like a little corbel underneath. Like two little corbels underneath. Take that and then copy it over and then modify it. Give it a different door, different windows, make another one a little bit more whimsical, make it more whimsical, make one with stone, make one with wood, put designs and stuff on it. And that way when you take that and you put that into your laser program, you can have all those details just engraved right onto the thing. And that way you can just cut it, paint it up or stain it a little bit, glue it together, throw it up, and bing, bang, boom. And I'll even do like some shingles or something like on the roof section. Make things fun. Maybe I'll even make one. I'm not even sure how to do this. Make one that has a chimney on it, right? And of course I'll make the chimney hollow. But then if you put like a humidifier or something in there, now you'd have to like waterproof it, like wax the wood or something, or paint everything really good. But you can put a humidifier in there, and then when you turn that on, it looks like the chimney's doing a thing. I don't know. You have to have fun with things, right? And the whole point of this is, well, the point of it is to sell. But I wouldn't want to do it if it's not fun. And this is a great little exercise for my mind. Anyways. The pitch. Roofs are typically 1 to 12. Let's go. I think that's a little too shallow for this, so let's go 6 foot, 1 foot. And then how far off the wall do you think it should protrude? I think a good, like, the first one should be like 2 or 3 inches off. So if I'm going to do the door 4 inches tall, so 7 foot down to 4 inches, I think I should go like 3.5 feet. do that, and then do. Oop. Oop. There's one side. Take that and mirror it over. There's two sides, and then take that. There's your back. So now you take all those pieces, cut them out, you'll get a box. Actually, the back should be a little bit taller. Yeah, the back should be taller. Should be that tall. Right? Right. Now time to do a little bit of math. So 3.5 feet, roughly. So we need to do something that's, you want an overhang, right? You want an overhang on the front, you want an overhang on the sides for the roof. So let's take this that way. We'll copy it up. Let's go 4.5 feet. Right? Yeah. And we'll move that by, let's say, 1 foot. Yeah, because we're doing a foot overhang, so let's do a foot on every side. 1 foot. Do a little fillet on that. Oop, oop. So there's your little basic contraption there. There's the sides, top, bottom. Now, let me just put things on all the right layers and stuff, just so that it's for my own sanity. There's the walls, exterior. And then we need to do trims and stuff. So this will have to be an offset by, what's trim? 4 to 6 inches. I think 6 inches would look best on this, just because, well, it's going to be tiny. And you don't want to be playing with toothpicks. Even though, I guess you're going to be playing with toothpicks anyways. I guess. I don't know. So, there's the frames that'll go on top of everything. Now, what actually has to happen here is all the, if the doors are going to open, should I make this so that the doors can open, that they're their own separate piece? I don't know how I would make that happen. Do they make tiny door hinges? Let's find out. They do. Look at that. Itty bitty door hinges. That looks like it would be the biggest pain in the butt. 100 pieces, $10. It's not too bad. Okay, those look awesome, right? Mini strap hinges. Oh, those are cool. You know, that's one thing I haven't done yet, is I haven't actually made, well, I've made some hinges, but like I've never made strap hinges for anything, like smithing wise. I think I'm missing something. Maybe that'll be one of my next projects. Okay, so they do make mini hinges, miniature hinges. What are the dimensions on these things? It's kind of weird figuring, you know, stuff like this out, because you have to think in like 2 or 3 scales all at the same time. 1/12 scale. 5/16. I think that can work. So it's about 3/8. Yeah, okay. Well, for the windows, what'll have to happen is we have to put in the thing here. Let's offset these by got to put them on these pieces. So when they're cut out and you put the frame on it, what you can do is take a piece of plastic and glue it onto the inside, and that way it looks like a full window system. attach properties. And like the cool thing about using something with that has like a thickness, you know, once all the pieces are cut and everything for you, what you can go back and do is you can sand them to give them like more of a shape if you really wanted to. Because you know, just straight off a laser cutter, these things are kind of boxy. It's whatever thickness the wood is. So like you go back in there with some sanding sticks and give the, you know, bevel the edges a little bit. It'll make it pop, especially if you're just going to paint it. It doesn't matter that it's made out of plywood or whatever. Next thing we should probably do is add a hatch to this. Now there should be like a shake hatch. Yeah, that looks good. That doesn't look too bad now, does it? Now it's starting to kind of look like a house. We throw some siding on it, and bing, bang, boom. You got a thing. I need to find like a wood grain type pattern though. Like engraving on these. Now I know that once, like this won't translate to the laser printer, the laser cutter. So what'll have to happen is I'll have to explode this, which is usually the biggest no-no when you're drafting. But if I explode it, then they become lines as opposed to a pattern. And when that happens, you get the opportunity to assign them a layer in the laser program, which determines how fast things, you know, your laser cuts and what power, which means is it going to cut through something or engrave something. Holy hell. Irish woman, 21, dies after falling 500 feet while male friend grabs onto bush covered rock to save himself. That's a hell of a story. Oof. Okay, so there's the house. Now we need to build the porch. Now, corbels. Well, we'll do the porch first. So the porch, we're going to do a little bit bigger. That way it looks like you could have, you know, you could come out there if you're a little fey folk and have your pipe and your coffee in the morning. Sit down, walk around a little bit. Maybe if you have wings, shake the glitter from your wings before you get on with your day. But I want to make it wider than the house, because usually porches are a little bit wider than a house, right? In this way, if it's wider than the house, then you can, you know, shift it back and forth a little bit. And you could play with, you know, even if you get 3 of the same kit, you could have one centered, one to the left, one to the right, or, you know, whatever. You can play with it. So let's take this and make it 6 foot bigger. Even though I want this to be like, I don't know, I want this to be able to be messed with. I don't want it to be so big that it's impossible to, not impossible, but you don't want things too big, right? I don't think so. You're going to need 2 of these because you're going to want a top and a bottom. And you're going to want a thickness to them. So that means we're going to need 4 pieces that can kind of fit, you know, glued all around it, so the porch has some girth to it. You know, I'm thinking like this fairy, maybe, I don't know. Maybe the fairy had a couple friends, and they went out to the woods and they actually like got some lumber or something and built this thing and kind of stuck it into your wall. So maybe, you know, you want it to be a little bit more than just like 2 slabs glued together. And again, I'm not sure what scale I want this to be, so we're going to have to play with that a little bit too. So and I guess this is where I'm going to have to start getting into making some decisions. And this is where math is going to have to get involved. So I'm not going to bore you with the math. So I know the size of the porch. So I need a corbel that'll go, you know, basically that by that. Take that, rotate that 90. And that's what the, there's the angle I need to match. That's a 45-degree angle. So what I'm going to do is midpoint to midpoint. Now I want this to be kind of fun. Yeah, I think I want to do kind of like an S-curve in here. Something kind of like that. So let's take the arc. So I'm not going to do anything too dramatic. I think that's decent. But you kind of see what I'm going for. That was not it, so whoops. So this should probably kind of terminate somewhere in there. That looks a little bit better. Yeah, something like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, just has to look okay. So there's one part of the corbel. Actually, what we should do is probably group all this together. Yeah. Let's group it together. And then what we'll do is we'll take that, plop that there. Take this guy, keep him straight up. But now the problem is that's not mounting on anything. You get that just that little tiny little thing. So what we're gonna do is move that up a little bit. Move this one in a little bit. That way it's gonna have a flat surface to reference off of. That, and trim that. Right? Right. I'm gonna rotate that by 45 degrees. We're gonna make a little cross piece. I'll set this now by 1 foot. Oop. Offset. And then so what I want to do is something kind of like that. I'm thinking. Go here. Nope.
Are you done?
No. I'll tell you when I'm done. Okay? We'll do that. And then we'll fillet these edges.
But
Hey.
just when that plant grows, make sure it use regular water to make that plant grow. So
It's supposed to use distilled water.
I want it to be extra poisonous.
Well, it's not poisonous. It's a Venus flytrap, so it catches things and then dissolves things. It's not a poison plant. But don't worry, we'll make sure it's nice and healthy. Okay? Now run along so I can finish up.
But I finished my snack, so
Okay.
so I'm
In a few minutes I'll be done,
I'm still hungry.
and I'll make you something
I'm
else.
still hungry, so
Okay. When I'm done, I'll make you something else.
But the snack I was trying to get is one of those.
Again, when I'm done. The Sunset Sisters. Hi. Well, hello, Sunset Sisters. Welcome to the show. I'm trying to design. I don't know how long you've been here. I'm trying to design like a little fairy house that I can start using my laser cutter to cut out. I want to make like little kits and stuff and have downloads for people. That's what I'm playing at. So I'm sorry, I'm a little zoned in. I kind of have a pounding migraine. So I'm trying to be as personable as I can. So, I want to put a little chamfer on this end. I also need to take that straight across. I'll figure that out later. Alright, so we got that. And then I don't want it to be square. I want a little whimsy in there. Things are already going to be kind of square enough. So there's that. And you know what we'll do? We'll do... take that square right there, and then we will... something like that, and then just move this in. Yeah. Give us some scalloped edges. Take that, we'll mirror that again down to there. Boom, boom. And then the problem is there's never anything that's actually square in reality. So I want to get rid of a bulk of this. And I think the way I'm going to do that is make a circle. Copy that circle. Delete the original circle. And then I don't think I need that any longer. Actually, undo. I do want that for right now. I want to start at that apex, go here somewhere, and at that apex. Actually, delete that. Just start in the center. And I can get rid of that and trim this and this. Delete that, delete that. That doesn't need to be there anymore. See how we're starting to make things into a thing? Beautiful, isn't it? And then we can get rid of that. And there, now you have like a little churchy type thing going on. So, something like that. I guess I shouldn't have gotten rid of that center mark yet. There we go. And now we'll trim those. All right, now the purpose of this is this is going to be one of those pieces that gets laminated. So you're going to have several pieces all together. So I need to copy this. So one of these so you got that guy right there. Let's take him, move that out. So I need two of these. Just like that. And then here's the tricky part. Actually, it's really not that tricky. Ungroup. Oh yeah, that's the center marks. Group. This top piece here gets grouped together. Let's match all the properties. Actually, it should be green, I believe. All of that should be green. This is going to have to get messed with a little bit in the laser program because you're going to want this outside line cut, but this one engraved, and then this cut. So let's move this over there. Missing a piece from something. Yeah. That'll be fine. Move that over there. I see where it's missing. That'll be our little secret. And then let's just trim this. Because when you're doing laser pieces, you don't want you want as few double cuts as possible. Because that adds trouble. We don't want trouble. We want this to be nice and easy and user friendly and blah 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 blah. Alright. Here's your corbels. Alrighty, this is starting to turn into a thing, right? Little fairy house is taking shape. So you got the porch. I still need to do some math. I'm going to do the math another time, probably right after this is ended, so I don't forget about it. To get the thickness of the porch, and then you got, you know, a couple stairs. We have to design the stairs next, and then, hey, you gotta stay back there. Kids are fun.
I can still see through this.
But yeah, so we'll do some stairs next. And then I'm thinking about, and this is another decision that I have to make. I'm thinking about putting holes in the top of the porch so that you can come back with like toothpicks and like put some toothpicks in there, right? And then take some string and put string around it so it looks like a little fence or something. Because you don't want the fairy falling off. A hard day of doing fairy stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, last chance. You're going to get in a lot of trouble. Child is really testing my patience today. It's going to be a long, long day. I'm surprised Ken hasn't shown up today, but we'll see. So, yeah, I think we're going to pop in some doors. So we'll offset this 6 inches. And again, this is going to have to be a decision. Because I need to figure out like the size of a round toothpick versus whatever scale this is going to be. I think I'm going to do 1/18 scale. So I need to get a toothpick, measure the toothpick, and then figure out the size. It's going to get really complicated, isn't it? It is. It's going to get really complicated. Anyways, there's that. That's my idea for that. So this way you could do like a little thing there, and like I said, this is going to have a little bit of a thickness like hanging off the wall, so you could put like little lights in there, like little fairy lights. You could put, glue them to the inside, and then maybe cut like a little hole in the side so you can put, glue your battery pack on there and get to the switch and turn it on so it looks like there's someone living in there. I don't know. I think it's cute. I think it's fun. I think it'll be fun for people. I want this to be something that's kind of easy and accessible for people to do. Like a little project to do with your kids or by yourself, a little painting, and, just to make something fun. Make something cool that you could put on your wall. Because life is boring. So have the fun where you can. Oh, and for the inside of these, like to make it look like there's glass or something, take some plastic wrap or some cellophane, put it in there, and you put it really tight. It'll look like it's like glass, like just regular glass. But if you put it in there like a little loose, they'll give it that kind of like a ripple, where you pull it tight in one direction so it kind of gets those stretch ripples in it. It'll make it look like it's a little something more, I guess. I don't know. This is just all stuff to play with. Or you could just leave it empty. I don't know. The whole idea is this is something that can be super glued together. Make it easy for people to do. Make it fun, Little roof, little stuff. Anyways, how far away? Like, how big should I make these staircases? The staircase. We're just about over time here, so. That's 7 foot. I want 7 inches. Put a line there. Bloop, bloop. And there's a basic staircase. Let's offset this top by like, I don't know, 4 inches. Offset the bottom by like 6 inches. Take that, bring that down. Take that, bring that over. Fillet that and that, and there's your staircase. Boom. So this is going to have to be several pieces. Let's take that, let's copy this over. So the outside doesn't need any of this stuff. The inside, you want the inside and bottom to match on the stringers. Let's make this all a group. We'll group all that. Boom, 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 boom. And then we need a tread, which we'll do 13 inches by 3 feet, just so we're slightly out of OSHA compliance. You're gonna need what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So copy this. 1, 2, 4, 6. Take this and mirror that. There's your stairs. As long as all the edges line up, then this should just glue right together nice and easy. Everything should lock in pretty good. And you got what? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the stairs will even have like a little nosing on them to make it look kind of artsy-fartsy. Then you could sand it and, you know, give it a rounded nosing or leave it square or whatever. Paint them. What you could do is paint them like put like 2 or 3 coats of paint on them, and then on the stair treads, like go back with some sandpaper and like wear the edges away a little bit, like where the feet would go, and that way it looks like it's used. A little bit of weathering on it, Make it fun, right? And I can just glue on right to the face of the porch, and then you could glue that onto the top of another porch. Kind of put that in there somewhere, blah 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 blah, and have a nice little thing. So you got the stairs, the corbels, the house, the trim, and the porch. Not too bad, right? For less than an hour's worth of work. Now I could take that, throw this into my laser program, and actually start cutting these things out. I want to design the other house first, so I could figure out what I can nest inside of one object inside of another. That way, there's kind of a little bit of realism to them. Not realism. We're not really going for realism, are we? I guess economy is what I'm going for. Because if we can get this to be kind of like an economical thing to cut out, so there's not very much waste, I think that'll be a lot nicer. One, for my bottom line, and two, for anyone who wants to cut this out themselves. I think they would appreciate that. I think make this fit in like a 12 by 12 sheet of plywood, because you can buy a bunch of those off Amazon real cheap. There's a lot of decisions that have to be made. I didn't think about that beforehand. Oh well. Anyways, that's my hour. Sorry I wasn't as personable as I usually am, but I appreciate y'all coming out. I'll see you next week, and hopefully by then I will have one or two of these cut out, and we can kind of work on assembling them and see where I messed up. Anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, and thank you for helping make this world better one curvy time. And I'll see y'all next week.